Resident Evil, a household name in the video game industry that started out as a side project for this genius scaredy cat called Shinji Mikami. And throughout the years, it became bigger and more famous that it actually transcended its original medium and proceeded to move on to everything and everywhere. And I mean everywhere, like movies, graphic novels, anime, audiobooks, comics, toys, and even dildos. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think I know anyone who doesn't know what Resident Evil is, to the point that if someone asks me, hey, what's Resident Evil, man? Automatically, I would assume that who I'm talking to is a literal baby. And since Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City is coming up, basically remaking all of the horrible Paul Anderson Resident Evil movies.
Hello there.
Except one. One is actually good. I went on ahead with my thinking hat and my heated butt on my thinking chair and asked myself the very question that I couldn't believe that I didn't ask myself before. What if Resident Evil was set in the Philippines?
Presidenteng masama.
Of course, if you actually want to get this right, we would have to start at the very origin of the evil. The very first story of the game took place in Spencer Mansion, which is located within the Arklay Mountains of Arklay County, just outside of Raccoon City. Now, it's easy to just pick Metro Manila as Arklay County since Metro Manila is the actual capital of the Philippines, and most of the juicy stuff that happens anyways in the game were between the Arklay Mountains, Arklay County, or Raccoon City. But since we're going for a more realistic approach here in this video, so I'd say we'll make Calabarzon as Arklay County. Mainly because of its similarities in terrain and the fact that it's basically revered as a key industrial region here. Speaking of industrial, Raccoon City is described as this industrial city within the Arklay County. Although probably not as small as Raccoon City, the closest one that fits the description here would be Lipa, Batangas, because of its reputation in being the industrial port of Calabarzon. As for the Arklay Mountains, we would have to actually pick something that's near Lipa, and the perfect place would be there, the Mount Manabu area. Now, the setting of the Spencer Mansion is a bit tricky because there couldn't possibly be a mansion somewhere in the middle of Mount Manabu. Or is there? Maybe not. Unless... Nah. Okay, for the sake of argument, let's just assume that there is a mansion out there in Mount Manabu that is disguised as a retreat house for its employees, but secretly it's a lab underground with all the evil experiments, just like Despite having a lot of villains in this game, like these cool ones and the lame ones, at the end of it all, the real enemy is the big corporate overlord named Umbrella. Probably the most infamous pharmaceutical company in all video game history, who's responsible in actually destroying a whole city and bringing forth an apocalyptic-like scenario. This one is pretty easy actually. We just need one of the top local companies to be it, and what better company to represent the overlord evil company than Unilab. I'm sorry, Unilab. This is hypothetical stuff. I'm making this shit up, or maybe you are evil, but I don't know. But now there are 4 key products of Umbrella that can easily be replaced with products from Unilab. Okay, this one didn't really come out of my ass. Okay, I did a lot of research on this, and I found some things in Unilab that basically does the same thing as the products from Umbrella. First up is Adravil, which is basically stated as an ointment for curing minor cuts and flesh wounds. And the Unilab equivalent product of that would be Trimicin. Trimicin? I don't know. Next is Aquacure, which was targeted basically for the female demographic for physical fitness recovery. And lo and behold, there's an equivalent of that with Unilab, which is Unilab's Athena. This is the first time that I've actually heard of it. I have never used it. Maybe Athena users can vouch for me, you know? Third is Safsprin, which is basically an aspirin. So in Unilab's terms, that would basically just be biogesic. And John Lloyd would be the perfect endorser. And last but not the least is the ever so famous Umbrella's First Aid Spray. Now this one, there's no direct equivalent of a product here in Unilab. But I think the best bet for that here in the Philippines would be the most famous spray here. And that, my friends, is none other than the Ware Active Spray. Now you see why this brings you from danger to fine. Thank you. What are you buying? What are you selling? Now that those baby public medicines are out of the way, let's move on to what Umbrella is really selling, and that is bioweapons research. And their main customer is the US government, which in here would be the Philippine government. And yeah, maybe secretly Unilab has done deals and tests so rigorously, that they eventually have to move on from guinea pigs to something else, or specifically somewhere else.
Go tell Aunt Rhodey.
Alright, this one is gonna be quite sad because most of the fans know that Raccoon City has received most of the sinister acts of Umbrella. So I'm sorry, Lipa, Batangas, but you're gonna have to take an L on this one from Unilab. Whew. The original outbreak started from a leak in the lab that spread in the sewers of Raccoon City that was carried by rats. And even though it's not hard to actually think that it's possible here in the Philippines, since we have lots of rats, fucking big rats, just big as a cat or a dog, whatever. We have rats that would punch the shit out of you. You know, rats that would not run away. If you say, instead, it would give you the finger and give you leptospirosis. Easy. So yeah, although it is not really impossible to think that that could be the reason why everyone just gets infected here, we might have a better story on how the viral outbreak started here. I would like to remind you that this is all purely fictional and not to be taken seriously. So don't think of this as some conspiracy theory of some sort, alright? Good. Illuminati. Well, let's get started. Fade from white or black, whatever. It all started when Unilab released a brand of whitening soap. And of course, as you all know, Filipinos are obsessed with becoming whiter. The whitening soap topped the market charts, getting endorsers like Katniel and Coco Martin. The whitening soap worked like a charm, as it contained a chemical that penetrates the skin and lowers the immunity system to make way for a different kind of chemical. And with the success of the whitening soap, Unilab decides to release a new product, a chemical that you can inject yourself with and is being marketed as a solution for being much, much whiter, much, much faster, and definitely permanent. But little did the public know that this chemical contains the Golgotha virus, G virus for short. Unilab decided to give it a different name just to sound a bit less sinister. And as a result, they released the name to the public as glutathione. Marketing it as limited, they decided to do test runs in Lipa, Batangas just to see the effect of it, thus starting the outbreak. And the rest is history. Also, I know I mentioned UBCS before, which is the Umbrella Biohazard Countermeasure Service. But since in this universe, it's from Unilab, so maybe I'll call it UBAS, which stands for Unilab Biohazard Action Services. UBAS. Hire them. And with that, we are ready to move on to the inhabitants of Raccoon City, which we call the Alright, so for the enemies, there wouldn't really be that much difference regarding like every creature in this rendition. For example, the zombie dogs that usually look like this, well, most probably just gonna be looking like this, but with torn skin. Yo gosh, look at that little askel who is probably called Brownie or something, or Tutu, or si Doggy, I don't know, fuck. Look at that. And of course, the most common enemy in the Resident Evil franchise would definitely have to be zombies. And most of us Filipinos just loiter around in pambahay clothes, which means most of the zombies will probably look like this, and this, or this, probably this. And this one as well. Fun fact though, do you know what we got more than zombies and dogs? No? Frogs. That's right. We are ranked 30th in the list of countries that has the most amphibian species. And 21st on the reptile species number. We even got big crocodiles and snakes. Holy shit, Jesus Christ, we're fucking dead. Besides having lots of zombies, because of our population, we also have lots of zombie dogs. And fuck, hunters. We will have lots of hunters. We're fucked.
Hey, it's up to us to take out Umbrella.
And last but not the least, we have our heroes and villains, which is basically our main characters. Now, it's really hard to just like, assume that someone is like Chris Redfield, or someone is like Claire, someone is Leon, and the president is something like the president in the RE games. It's really hard. So, I'm gonna do it in a different way. Boom! Something impossible happened. In the year 2060 or 2070, someone from the Philippines bought the rights to Resident Evil, and he's making a movie rendition out of it, but set here in the Philippines. The story is all about the whole Raccoon City incident, and the main cast is basically gonna be the key players in the Resident Evil games as well. It's the biggest thing right now in Philippines 2070, and everyone is vying for a role in the Resident Evil Philippine edition. And I am the casting director. So are you ready? Alright, let's start off with some minor roles, shall we? Jimmy Marcos, formerly known as James Marcus from the games, the founder of Umbrella itself, I know, Jaime Fabregas. That's right. Ricky Aquino, or formerly known as Richard Aiken, I got it, it's Jason Gainza. Brian Ignacio, or as the game call it, Brian Irons, Chief Brian Irons. The police chief that sold the whole city to Umbrella and has a knack for taxidermy, even for humans. Can be played by Rez Cortez or Jun Sabayton. Pretty good. Mike Villamor, or Mikhail Victor, the leader of the Delta platoon of UBCS, who gets injured and sacrifices himself in order to kill Nemesis. Who's the perfect fit? I think Ronaldo Valdez. He's a good fit. Nicolo Gutierrez, or Nikolai Genovese, the traitor in UBCS. I think that part is going to Gardo Versosa. Basilio Cuenca, or Billy Cohen, is an ex-convict who happened to stumble upon the mess that is Umbrella Leak, and can be played by either John James Uy or the ever so iconic Robin Padilla. But I think he's gonna be dead by then. I don't know. Sarah Bakiran, or Sherry Birkin, the daughter of the one responsible for creating the virus. She can be AC Bonifacio. Ann Bakiran, which is Annette Birkin, the mother of Sherry, who cares more about her work than her daughter, can be played by Jackie Lou Blanco or Vicky Bello. Again, I did not think of it this way, but I said 2070. Some of these actors might be dead, but I don't know. Let's see. And Bayani Bernabe, or Ben Bertolucci, the locked-up reporter who's hell-bent on exposing the chief to the public. Perfect one for me. Lourdes de Vera. Roberto Katigbak, also known as Robert Kendo, the gun shop owner who was creepy in the original game but turned into a loving father in the remake. One that I could see perfectly in this would be Ricky Davao, or Marco Ho from Bogart the Explorer. Enrile Martinez, or Enrico Marini, the leader of the betrayed Bravo team and has a sick mustache. I've always wanted to see Mon Confiado do that role. Ben Vargas, or Brad Vickers, who abandoned the Alpha team before at the mansion and is now someone who saves Jill in the city. Someone funny but can be taken seriously. Ketchup Eusebio, Magiting Briones, or Marvin Branagh, the last remaining officer in the police station that used his last moments to help Leon and Claire get out. I wanted someone respectable here, so I think I'd go with Christopher De Leon or John Arcelia. Alright, and to move on with the supporting roles. Katunggali, which is Nemesis. Athletic huge monster out to kill every Bituin member. Eric Eruption Tai. Easy. Sir X, Mr. X. Brandon Vera. He scared me before, so he'll do. Carlo Oliveros, or Carlos Oliveira, the flirty UBCS mercenary, who is surprisingly capable as well. I have 3 people for this. That would be Luis Manzano, Arnold Reyes, or Joros Gamboa. Wilfredo Bakiran, or William Birkin, the father of the G-Virus. No doubt, Joel Torre, best fit. Bekbek Chavez, or Rebecca Chambers, bubbly, innocent, but very capable medic of the Bravo team. And you know who I see in this? Ella Cruz, or I don't know, maybe Adria Brillantes, I don't know. Brando Burgos, or Barry Burton, bad guy accomplice with a conscience. Sid Lucero or Joey Bascon would be nice. Adarna Wang, Ada Wong, my favorite character. Heart Evangelista, Sumi. Hello? Who's this? Oh, Alodia? Oh, hello? You wanted to audition? Sure, no problem. Nice. I'll add one for me. Let's put Amara Oy. No particular reason, just, you know, I just think she's a good fit. Notice me, please. And now for the poster boys and poster girls of the Resident Evil franchise. Starting off with Cristina Pulanglupa, or Claire Redfield. This role fits someone that has a cute face, but you know that they can kick ass. So for this one, I'm casting Sue Ramirez or Janine Gutierrez. Now for an even more badass female protagonist, Jillian Valentina, or Jill Valentine. This is reserved for the queen herself, Liza Soberano. Oh, I got a text. Oh, Nadine Lustri texted. Don't forget about me, huh? Oh shit. Now, everyone's favorite villain, Alberto Wenceslao, or Albert Wesker, the greatest villain ever to grace the RE universe. And up until now, he's still the best. He's calm, collected, calculated, kind of a douche as he's wearing sunglasses. Like, who the fuck wears glasses inside a mansion? But I don't know, maybe he was cross-eyed before. I don't know, maybe, you know, we need someone slick. So you know what? I'm calling Daddy Ian Veneracion for this, or Albert Martinez. Crisanto Pulanglupa, one of the big poster boys of Resident Evil, which is Chris Redfield. All brawn and some brains, and someone who looks like he could punch a boulder. I think Gerald Anderson would be a good fit, so I'm casting him. He has a good physique, a good facial structure. I'm pretty sure he has the brawn, and I'm pretty sure he has some brains, because... You know what, on second thought, I might give Sam Milby a call later as well. And finally, the poster boy in all poster boys in any game is basically the Skyrim of all poster boys. Basically, fucking ported in every console known to man. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a mobile game starring him, to be honest. Of course, it's none other than Leon Katipunan, or Leon Kennedy. The pretty baby boy of this franchise that looks like he's the champion of quip sports because of his fast quips. In any situation, like an asshole. It's really hard for me since Leon Kennedy is my favorite. But the closest people that I can find that I think can play him well would be either Enrique Hill or Joshua Garcia. Maybe it's more Joshua Garcia because I feel like he can pull off the quips more than Enrique Hill. He has that, you know, comedic timing to it.
Ikaw, sa faculty, hanapin ko yung girlfriend ko. Sige, ikat ka. Dito ka. Dito.
Well, that was some hard casting call choices, but you know what? I think I did a pretty good job. Maybe you know someone who's more perfecter in that role. I know these are all imaginations, and I'm just like hopefully wishing that this is true. But at the end of the day, when you really think about it, this is my honest opinion, the Philippines can easily be overrun by Unilab's experiments. And I say that because of our lack of coordination and our usual discarte, which basically just means getting ahead of your fellow Filipino, whatever means necessary. So I think that would be our downfall. It could bite us in the ass. So I just want to say to everyone that if ever that time comes, shoot him in the head. Don't hide your bites. Look out for each other. And that's it for this. I don't even know the title of this video. It's just this video. Yeah? Do you agree with my sentiments? Do you agree with my comparisons? And if you do, and if you don't, feel free to comment down below. And if you have a suggestion about what other game can be set in the Philippines, please feel free to put it, and I will do my research about it. We'll make the best out of it. And that's where I leave you guys. And again, I'm Den. I also am from Paperbug TV, so check them out. Follow me on all social medias, and of course, as I always say, don't age. Level up. See you, nerds. Bye.
Welcome to the deep end.
I really hope Welcome to Raccoon City is good. To just bash the naysayers in that Resident Evil the Facebook group that I'm in. I'm just fucking... I feel like I would enjoy it, you know, no matter what. So here's to hoping Johannes Roberts did this film justice. I'm not expecting it to be super the best, but you know, I'm hoping that it will be a fun movie for fans and non-fans alike. Even though they got, I don't know, they said it's bad graphics and they hate the cast. I'm okay with the cast. I'm ranting over here. I don't know, I just want something long for the credits. I don't even know if I should put something in the credits because I don't know if I had something, like I'm doing this all by myself. And I had my friend help me with the script, but you know, that's it. That's pretty much it. And I'm just like here shooting by myself, this janky ass green screen, you know. Easy. I even have like this, I'm supposed to have like, oh, I didn't set it well. There's a light above me, but you know, I didn't set it well. So yeah, bye guys.